And we are live. So, hey, it is Sunday night. So, guess what that means? It's time for Learning with Lynn. So, I'm Lynn Huber.
And I'm Richard.
And this is Richard. We want to welcome you out today. Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So, if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so we know you were here. Today, we're going to talk about 7 ways you waste time every day. So,
Frankie.
Hi, Frankie. Hi,
right,
Sandy.
and Sandy.
Woohoo. Welcome.
2 newbies on.
Two of
Awesome.
our newbies, yes. Okay, so I'm going to move some stuff around here and share my screen. There we go. Now you should be able to see. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. You should be able to see my screen now. This is my blog, onlinebeautybiz.com. This is our training blog. It's for our team, and it's for any Avon rep who needs help. Hi, Denise. Hi, Karen. Happy Valentine's Day. So this is onlinebeautybiz.com. If you're brand new, you'll want to go to the top up here where it says Getting Started. Click on that, and that literally walks you through everything, like how do you get paid, how do you build your business, how do you set up your website. All of that is in there in the Getting Started. And then on the left side of the blog, you'll see like a series of posts, or 6 or 7 posts. And then on the right side, you'll see sign up today to receive our newsletter. If you're on my team, you're already on it. If you're not on my team and you're not receiving emails from me, go ahead and sign up here. And then you'll start receiving the emails from me. Right below that is a search. And so if you ever want to search for something you don't know how to do or whatever, you can just search for it in there, or you can click on the categories. Any categories that are linked to that post, to posts, will come up in when you click on those. So if you're on your computer, it looks just like this. You have the blog on one side, and the sidebar is what it's called on the other side. If you're on a phone, that sidebar moves to the bottom. So you'll have like 6 blog posts, and then underneath that, you'll have the sign up for the newsletter and the search and the categories. So I wanted to explain all that. Hi, Julie. Good to see you. Happy Valentine's Day. So today we are going to talk about this one right here, 7 ways you waste time every day. No, we don't waste time, right? Yeah, she looks a little bored. That's what Richard looks like most days. Oh, hi, Lana. Good to see you. Okay, so 7 ways that you waste time every day. So when it comes to your Avon business, you want to avoid activities that are causing you to waste time, because that's not going to help you grow, right? And so we all get the same 24 hours in a day. And although we have things, like work, some of us have day jobs, some of us have kids. We are homeschooling right now with the COVID. And so I know there's all kinds of things going on. But there's still lots of minutes each day that you can have some choices in how you're going to spend them. And so even the busiest person can be probably a little more efficient and intentional in using those minutes. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about how growing your Avon business is pretty simple. We go through this every week. If you've been on lots of these calls, then you've heard it over and over again, and I get it, but there's lots of new people on these calls. So I'm going to click on that. Oh, whoops, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to click on this so it can be loading while I'm talking to you. But so there's really only 4 main steps to growing your business. Number 1, prospecting for customers and recruits. Number 2, getting a brochure to every customer, every campaign. Number 3, follow up with every customer that you gave a brochure to, every campaign. And number 4, take the order, submit it to Avon, deliver the customers, or they go to your online store and Avon delivers to them. And then it's just rinse and repeat. It's really simple. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, over and over and over again, every campaign. So the first one, prospecting for new customers and recruits. If you're brand new, we ask you to make a list of everyone you know, write it down, or do it, type it in a document, or write it down. Just get it out of your head, because the more people you can get out of your head onto the list, the more you're looking at that list, that it will remind you about other people. And so that will be where you're going to start. For all of the rest of us who are not brand new, that we still have that list. We should still have that list, and it should be a living, breathing document. So you should be adding people every day and taking people off every day. So after you've talked to them, if you've added them to, so if you're gonna talk to them, then and if they say yes, then you're gonna move them to your regular customer follow-up list. So this is a prospect list, right? So you'll be taking people off, you'll be adding people. So if you're new, you can take your list and you can just go down your list, or you can pick and choose which ones you want, however you want to do that. And you'll just maybe text or call or Facebook message or whatever you do and say, hey, I just started my Avon business. I'm so excited. Would you like to see a brochure? And if they say yes, now you move them to your potential customer list and they're off your prospect list, right? If they say, no, I'm not interested, hey, no hard feelings. How's Johnny doing? I mean, seriously, nothing changed. They're still your friend. They're still your cousin. They're still your aunt. Nothing has changed. They just don't want a brochure. If you offered them a cup of coffee and they said, no, you're not going to get your feelings hurt, right? So it's the same thing here, you guys. You just asked them if they would like a brochure. That's it. If they want one, awesome. You get one to them. If they don't want one, no problem. You go to the next person on your list. And that's why we want that list to be as big as possible, so you always have plenty of people to be working with. And then once you go through your list, now you need to find a way to find new people, and that's the prospecting, right? So now as you go about your day, you go through the check stand at the grocery store or whatever, you might say to the clerk, at the check stand, you might say, hey, you know, I'm with Avon. How long has it been since you've seen a brochure? You know, and most of them are going to go, oh my gosh, I haven't seen a brochure in ages, right? And then you can say, we have this really cool thing with Avon now. We have a digital brochure. I can text it to you, and you literally can scroll through it page by page on your phone or your tablet or wherever you want. Can I send you one? And then you just say, okay, what's your name? Okay, what's your cell phone number? You're putting them into your phone, and then you have this ready already, and then you text them your digital brochure. Now they're on your list. Now you are going to do the get a brochure to them every campaign, right? So now if they say yes, they want a brochure, now you're going to get them onto your list. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Doug. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Heart Day. So okay, so now that was your prospecting. Now you're going to get a brochure, whether it be paper or digital, doesn't matter. That's your choice, but to every customer, every campaign. So does that mean that you've given them books for 4 campaigns in a row and they haven't ordered, so maybe you shouldn't give them another one because you don't want to bother them? No, that means every campaign until they tell you to stop, okay? If you're paying for books, then yes, you can cut back. I mean, you can't keep mailing them books every single campaign if they're not going to order. Typically what I do is if they're a new person that I don't know or whatever, if they don't order after 3 months, that's 6 brochures, then I take them off my paper brochure and I move them to my digital brochure, because it costs, what, 2 cents to send them a digital brochure. So I move them from my paper to my digital, but I don't take them off my list. They're still there forever until they tell me to stop, or I read their obituary or whatever, okay? And then now you're going to follow up with every customer you gave a brochure to, every campaign before you place your order. And then, and that's every single one of them. And we're going to talk about that too. And then you're going to take their order. That's really what it boils down to be successful. You do those 4 things. Look for new people. If you don't find new people to have your business, to put into your business, whether it be customers, recruits, whatever, if you're not constantly getting new people, your business is going to just dwindle. It's just going to wither away and die. You have to always be looking for the new. And it doesn't even matter who you are. If you're a dentist, if you're a realtor, if you're a painter that paints houses, whoever you are, you have to always have new people, always. That's the nature of business. So that's not even unique to Avon, right? So, okay, so then we just rinse and repeat. So we have a system to help you with this. Our Daily 8 system is a proven formula, and when you follow it consistently, the Daily 8 plan will help you maintain the consistency required to build a thriving team and exponentially expand your income. So instead of working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, your goal is to capture 8 points a day, 5 days a week, for a total of 40 points per week. So if you click here, print this sheet and track it. That's what I just pulled up. This is our Daily 8 plan.
Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Happy Valentine's Day.
I'd like to close that, but I'm not sure how. Okay, this is our Daily 8 plan. Oh, there you go. Is that it? There we go. Okay, so it's like 9 pages. You can print this off. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. Happy Valentine's. So you can print this off. It's like 9 pages. I would only print it once, and then you can go to page 2, and you can print that page 10 times or whatever you want, because this is your tracking form on this page 2. So it's really simple, week of. So you'll put today's date or tomorrow's date if you'd rather start it on Monday, however you want to do that. And then what days of the week are you going to work your business? Now, if you're full-time in Avon, or if you want to be full-time in Avon, then I suggest you work 5 days a week at least. You know, do it 5 days a week. Now, whether that's a couple hours a day or a lot of hours a day, that's up to you. But you need to be consistent. And so I strongly suggest you do it 5 days a week. And then, so you're going to put the dates on here. So, you know, each day. Now, if you want to work your business, if you want to take Wednesdays off because, I don't know, you have something going on Wednesdays, you can put Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Or if you know, so whatever it is, just make that commitment. You're going to work whatever days those are. Hi, Tracy. Good to see you. Okay, so now you put those dates. Now you're just going to give yourself points throughout the day for doing these things. So prospecting for customers. So that means getting out and giving out brochures, paper or digital. You know, you can hand a brochure to somebody with a little drawing slip or a little Post-it note on the brochure, or however you want to do it. And you're gonna hand them a brochure, and you're gonna say, whatever. I say, I mail my brochures. Would you like to get on my mailing list? And I have them fill out a drawing form. I have Tina on my team has a little notepad, just a little tiny notepad that's like a keychain that's on her purse, and she'll pull it out and she'll say, can I get your name and number, and I'll give you a quick text before my order goes in. Most people are okay with a text. They don't want you to call them. But if you just say, I'll give you a quick text, they're usually okay with that. And Tina, she just gives it to them like she's positive they're going to give it to her. So they do. So it's all in your attitude, right? So it's, and use a Post-it note. You can put a little Post-it note on the front of your brochure, whatever works. But get their contact information. So if you're just working with your list and you're brand new and you're working through your list, you're prospecting in a way because you're going through your list, right? You're trying to see who's interested and who isn't. So you can give yourself a point for every person who says yes that's on your list that you're calling or texting or however you're doing it. And so you can give yourself a point for every person who says yes. If you're out and about and you're collecting names, then a point for every name, right? Now they've said yes, they want a brochure. So now you're going to follow up with them just like 2 to 3 days later, and you're going to say, hey, just text them or whatever. Say, hey, I met you at Walmart. You know, I gave you a brochure. I was just checking to see if there's anything I can do for you. Or if you, if they're your friend from your list, hey, you know, I texted you that brochure, or I sent you that brochure. Did you get it? Whatever, you know, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do for you. And that's your follow-up 2 to 3 days later. Now we have regular follow-ups that are the same for every single person on your list. You're going to get a brochure to every customer. I give you 1 point for that because if you're using Campaign Mailer and you're using our system, it literally takes you 1 minute, 2 minutes at the most to send out a brochure to however many hundreds of people you want to send it to. Whether it's one person or 100, it doesn't matter. It takes you 1 minute. So I give you a point. If you're out delivering them, you're driving around town and you're delivering them, give yourself a whole lot more points, right? How much effort you're putting into it is how you're going to decide how many points you get for that. And this is your business. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to say you're doing it good enough or you're not doing it good enough. I'm just here to help you be consistent. So it's your business. You decide how many points you're going to give yourself, okay? And then the follow-ups, I give you 1 point because, again, it takes like 1 minute to set it up in Project Broadcast to do that follow-up for everybody. And that's 2 to 3 days before you place your order. So like my order goes in on next Wednesday. My follow-ups are already scheduled. They're all going to go out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I have texts going out. I have voice messages going out to people who I don't have cell phones for, and I have emails going out. So I have all of these going out tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And you're going to do those every single campaign, like 3 days before your order goes in. And if you're using my system, it takes you like a minute or 2 minutes or something. So I give you 1 point. If you are literally texting every single person, give yourself more points. I probably wouldn't do 1 point for every person, but maybe a point for every 10 minutes or something, or however you want to do this, okay? Because it's your business, your points. And then you're going to place your order. You get a point for that, and then you get a point for sorting and delivering your orders. Now, if that takes a long time, you get more points. Give yourself more points, right? Or if you're delivering over 3 or 4 days, give yourself points for each of those days, right? And then passive prospecting is putting brochures out door to door, various businesses. I give you a point for that. Now that's passive, so that's not like you're going to get a point for every brochure you give out because you didn't get contact information. So just give yourself a point for doing the activity. Same thing like Posting on social media. Give yourself a point for scheduling your posts for social media. It's still passive. It's not active. It's not you saying, hey, my order's going in. Is there anything I can get for you? It's not, would you like a brochure? It's more like you're passively posting on social media, right? If you're going to do an event or party or show, give yourself points for that, a point for sponsoring a new representative, a point for training contacts, all of these things. Personal development, Avon business training, Avon U, online beauty biz, or the Avon Facebook group, or Avon webinars, any of that. You can give yourself points for that. Business and personal development are really important for your business, but they're not part of the 4 main steps to grow your business. They are really important. You need to know how to work your business, but don't do those during the prime time of day when you can be talking to customers or potential customers. But you can do it, and you get points for all of them. And just work on getting 8 points a day, 5 days a week for 40 points. If you just want to build a small business, you're part-time, whatever, you can do 3 days a week, 8 points, or you could do 5 days a week and work to get 4 points, or however you want to do that, right? Be consistent, though. Do something for your business every day. I strongly suggest that.
Yeah, use the form, but put in honest information, because honest information will give you honest results. and the bottom line, you could put 100 people in and say, I passed out 100 brochures and say I got 100 points this week. But if you really didn't get any names or anything, your bank account's going to show it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's the tail of the tape on that.
It's true, because we teach, and you can search in online beauty biz about prospecting door to door. We teach, if you will put brochures out door to door, if you put 100 brochures out on the doorsteps, you might be lucky if you get 1 or 2 orders out of 100 brochures. If you knock on those doors and introduce yourself and get their contact information and follow up with them, you might get 20 orders out of that 100 brochures. Big difference. One is active, and one is passive. So putting them on the doorsteps, that's passive. You're not talking to anybody. You're not getting their information. That's passive. So that's why you don't get as many points for that, right? And because if you gave yourself 100 points for 100 brochures, you're only going to get one sell, maybe. So, you have to be on it. Like Richard says, be honest. The way we teach how to go around that, just because I went off on this tangent, is if you do the same houses 6 times in a row, over those 6 times, you'll end up with about 20 customers. But you got to see, it takes a lot more time, it takes a lot more books, so it takes more money, and it takes more effort in order to get the same amount. But because it's passive, it takes 6 times as long to do that. So that's just one thing. So now if we go back to this post, you can click here to download the plan. You can click here. We have a daily challenge, and you don't have to be on our team to be a part of this. Everyone is welcome. If you're in online beauty biz, you're a part of this. So you click here to log your numbers. It just takes you to a Google form where you just fill this out. How many points did you earn? What were your wins this week? What did you accomplish, or what were you proud of? What did you not do so well? And how can you do better next time? And then just tips, right? And then I ask you if it's okay to recognize you. The purpose of this is, well, it's twofold. One is it's kind of an accountability, right? If you have to report to somebody how you're doing, you're going to be more likely to do more, and because you're being accountable for it. But also just the fact that you took the minute it took to figure out what your wins were or what you didn't do so well and how you can do better next time, you've already given yourself the answers. So by doing it on this form, you've given yourself the answers. Now, I might call you out, but I'm not going to call you out in a bad way. I mean, I might say, oh my gosh, Richard, look, you did this, you got 40 points this week, and you did this, this, and this. And I might put that on Facebook. I'm not going to say, Richard, you screwed up, you didn't do, I'm not going to do that, because I'm here to support you. So know that if you're submitting this form, it's for you, not for me. It's for me to be able to recognize you and call you out and tell you what a great job you're doing, and to encourage you along your way to grow your business. That's what this form's all about.
Yep, it's part of life's learning lessons. When you do something right, you'll repeat it. But when you do something wrong, you say, "Ooh, boy, that didn't turn out good. I don't want to repeat that. I don't want to ever do that again." And it's
by taking that minute to figure out why it didn't work.
Yes.
Then that's going to help you to know better next time.
That's right.
Yeah. So And then be sure to be in our online beauty biz Facebook group, so that you guys are all in here, I believe, already. Look, see, there's Frankie. She's on our call today, and Sandy. Woohoo! So there you go, you guys. That's our group. Okay. So today we're going to talk about 7 ways that you might be wasting time. So, you know, I mean, there's some common time wasters, and some are more obvious than others. And I'm not perfect, right? I waste time too. I get sucked in the rabbit hole too, and so does Richard. You know, but by avoiding or limiting these as much as possible, you're going to find more minutes in your day to be able to build your business. And we can all use a few more of those too, right? One thing I will say that's kind of funny, but it's the nature of how it is the busier you are, probably the better you are at managing your time. And an example of that is when I was working 70 hours a week and commuting an hour and a half each way, somehow I got more done in my Avon business sometimes than I do now. And you know, you talk to people who retire from their jobs and they're like, I don't know how I ever had time to work, because it, you know, you're just not under that pressure to get it done so quickly that I just think you're maybe not as efficient. But well, let's look at some of the biggest ways that you waste time. So even if you're one of the more dedicated and organized people out there, trust me, you're still wasting time somewhere. And time wasters are all around you, and it's especially true if you work from home. And so, you know, when a day is lost and you didn't get anything done, lots of times we'll tell ourselves, tomorrow I would definitely be more focused. And we mean it, right? We seriously mean it. But unfortunately, it takes a little more than just saying it in order to get it done. You have to plan. You have to seriously do whatever, find out why you weren't able to get stuff done today, and make a change so you can do it better tomorrow. Just like I said earlier with the Daily 8 forum, just by saying to yourself, why wasn't I able to do that? And how can I do better? Boom, you already turned that key in your head, right? So here's 7 ways that we waste time every day. 1 is organizing and preparing. And so, of course, that's not a time waster in itself. Organizing and preparing is good, but sometimes people feel that they're busy doing things when what they're really doing is they're busy getting ready to do things. I have new reps all the time that do this. They're like, oh yeah, I'm getting ready. Oh yeah, I'm getting ready. And like 2 weeks later, they still haven't done anything to grow their business because they're still getting ready to get ready, you know? And so making lists and organizing piles and sorting papers, creating a spreadsheet, you know, some of that stuff, creating the spreadsheet could be important, right? But I wouldn't do it until you need it, or, you know, or maybe just take the time to create the spreadsheet and then get into action and use it if that's something that's important to you. But, you know, the fix in that is find an online planner and a to-do list, and then pick one day out of the week where you plan out your whole 7 days in advance. A lot of mine is already planned out. I use Microsoft To Do. It's a to-do checklist, and it syncs with my computer and my phone and my tablet, whatever, and I have recurring tasks. So for instance, on Monday, I want my voice shots, my texts to go out to my customers saying, hey, my order's going in. So I have a recurring reminder for every other Friday, which would have been 2 days ago, saying schedule reminders for text and the voice shots. And it's on there as a recurring every 2 weeks. So I do it and I check it, and I don't have to worry about it again. It's going to come up 2 weeks later. I don't know if you guys can see, maybe not. This is what my Microsoft To Do looks like. See, it's just like boom, and I have all these tasks and I'm checking them off as I go, right? So that's really, and it's right there in the corner of my computer, and I pull it up all day long and checking stuff off. And before I go to bed, I make sure that everything's done that needs to be done. You could use, if you use a Google Calendar, that's another way to do it. And I believe there's a pretty good to-do list on there. I haven't used it, but that's another option. But, you know, find an online planner, and then, you know, maybe on Sunday night or whatever works best for you, pick a night, pick a day when you can kind of plan out your week, you know, if you don't have like set things. I mean, because sure, it's easy to know that every 2 weeks I need to do this, or every other Wednesday I need to place my order, or every other, you know, those are great. But it's also a good idea to plan out, okay, what do I have going on this week? Oh yeah, you know, your daughter's dance recital's on Wednesday night, so you might not be able to work Wednesday night on your Avon business, but where can you make up that time, right? So plan it out. So you know ahead of time what you're going to do, because if it's not in your calendar, chances are you won't get it done. So, I mean, because we're so busy. We're all so busy, right? So
and use one calendar. If you got a family or husband, wife, you know, kids, whatever you have, use one calendar, because otherwise you won't get anything done. If you have, because Lynn and I do that. We have everything on there, all of our personal stuff and business stuff. It's all on one calendar, so that if I try to do something, I have a dentist appointment or something, I say, oh, I can't do it there because we have a meeting that night, or I need to deliver an order at that time. So.
Yeah, and you can do this for your family. You can color code them if you want. Yeah. I use Google Calendar, and you know what I do is I have Richard's phone set up to be on my calendar instead of his own Gmail account. And so we both have access to the calendar, and then I print it out. And so if you have a family and kids, you can print this out and put it on your fridge, you know, so that everybody can see it. And you probably have to print it off quite often because you're always adding to it and taking away. But you want, yeah, Richard's absolutely right. You want to have one calendar. Otherwise, you end up double booking yourself. So one calendar for everything. Okay. Number 2, working on the wrong priorities. So if you want to grow your business, it's important that you focus on those income producing activities. What were they? We talked about them already. Prospecting for new customers, getting a brochure to every customer, every campaign, following up with every customer you gave a brochure to, every campaign, and take the order, right? Submit it, deliver, all that, and then rinse and repeat. Now, as far as getting a brochure to every customer, some people say, well, I put a brochure in their bag. But you know what? First off, I use Campaign Mailer for all of my brochures. And if they live next door to me, they still get it in the mail. Doesn't matter. Because I don't want to have to go back and go, who did I give a brochure to? Who did I not give one to? So every single customer that's on my brochure list gets a brochure in the mail. They might also get one in their order, because Richard, when he delivers their orders, he might stick one in there, and he tells them, if this is an extra brochure, give it to somebody else.
We love referrals.
Yeah, we love referrals. Plus with Campaign Mailer, because it's bulk mail, you have to order them ahead of time, and you're not going to know at the time you're placing the order to mail your brochures out if you're going to have an order from that customer or not. So it's just better, and even when we were doing our own bulk mail, at the time, what I used to do is I had a spreadsheet with my customers in, and I printed labels, and then we bulk mailed them. And it was the same thing. Everybody got it in the mail, regardless of if they had an order or didn't have an order or whatever, because there's no guarantee you're going to see it. There's no guarantee you're going to get a book to them. And by using the system, that's how you know that it's going to happen every campaign, the way it's supposed to happen, right? So yeah, sure, you need to learn and you need to do personal development. Those are really important to your business success, but schedule those outside of your main 4 steps, because if you're not actively meeting new prospects and recruits, and you're not getting a brochure to everybody, and you're not following up, that follow-up is so critical. Then you're not growing your business. But Richard, I don't want to bug them. If I follow up, if they want to place an order, they'll give me an order. They'll call me, right?
No.
No?
No. Give them customer service.
They won't call me?
Nope. Nope. They have 14 other magazines piled on the coffee table or on their kitchen table with the bills and everything else, and it gets lost.
So let me tell you something. This is going to sound a little gross, but we're real here. We're real, okay? You're going to give a book to somebody in the grocery store or whatever, or even your friends are going to get them in the mail or whatever. It might sit in the car for a while, and then eventually it'll make its way to the kitchen counter, and eventually it's going to make its way up either to their bathroom or to the bedside, because they're like, I don't have time to look at this. And so they're going to be looking at it while they're in the bathroom, and they're going to be turning over the pages, and they're going to, oh, I want that. And they turn over the page, I want that. But they can't call you right now or text you or whatever because it's the middle of the night. So they put it down. And it's the same thing. If they're laying in bed, they might turn the pages over, but they still put it down. It's the middle of the night. And then those 15 other magazines end up on top of it, and they forget about it. And if you call them, or if you text them, you don't have to call them. If you text them, they're going to go, oh my gosh, let me get the book. I do have an order. And they'll respond, and they'll give you an order. If you don't follow up, then eventually they're going to pick up that book, and they're going to go, oh, that's probably expired, and throw it away. And they're going to even forget what they got. They're even going to forget what they wanted. So trust me, you're just giving them good customer service by doing the follow-up. So Sandy says, is Campaign Mailer an in Avon or an outside vendor? Sandy, they are an outside vendor. They are not associated with Avon at all. I think they're a rep, an Avon rep, but they are amazing. So they buy the books from Avon in bulk, and then you just fill out, you have, if you go onto their website, it's campaign-mailer.com. You just create an account, and then you can add people. It like creates a little like spreadsheet thing, and you can add people or you can take them out, whatever. And then when you're ready to have them mail them, you just make sure you have what you want on the label, and then you click on mail to these people, choose the brochure you want, and pay. And they mail. So they supply the brochure, they supply the label, they do everything. And it goes out bulk mail. It goes out from Texas.
Yeah, they're located in Central Texas.
So so it could take up to 2 weeks for books to get out. Right now they're mailing Campaign 7, I believe. I think I mailed mine last Wednesday, my Campaign 7 brochures. And they have like an A mailer, B, C, D, so you can get in any one you want. I use the C mailer. It seems to hit my customers about right, but you'll figure out what works for you. But anyway, so I hope that helps. Mm-hmm. She says thank you.
Yep.
So okay, so then so the fix is do work the daily 8 system and make sure you're focusing on the most important activities. Prioritize the activities that's going to help you grow your business.
Yeah, you don't want to be reading about how I can improve selling Avon in the middle of the day when people are running around. You want to be out prospecting at noon and reading about how to do Avon better at midnight or 11 or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever. I mean,
you pick the time or in the morning, yeah.
Around your schedule. But I would just make sure that you can do it whenever it's convenient for you. Just make sure that you're doing those 4 things, right? The prospecting, getting the brochures out, following up, and taking orders. Okay, the third thing that can help waste time is social media, emails, and text. So it's become a vital part of our life, right? But the world isn't going to stop turning if you don't look at social media for 15 minutes. Another big distraction is hearing that too familiar ding that comes every time an email or a text message comes. Your phone goes ding, and wow, and you're like, oh, whoa, what is that, right? And so picture this scenario. So you're in the middle of working, you're doing something, maybe. For me, I'm writing a blog post or something, and then your phone beeps. So you reach for your phone to see your incoming message, and then now you're in your phone, and maybe you've looked at that message, but you end up on Facebook or Instagram, and then all of a sudden you realize, wow, I've been messing around for 20 minutes, and I got to get back to work. And research shows that every time you get distracted, even for a couple of minutes, your brain needs more than 20 minutes to refocus on what it was working on. So imagine how much wasted time that amounts to. And so the fix is avoid randomly checking social media, emails, or texts. Set up a certain time during your day for doing that, and then turn off any notifications or mute your phone. So I do a lot of online marketing. I do a lot of blogging. I do a lot of, I'm doing a lot of follow-ups and all of that. When I'm working, I'm not looking at social media. I'm not listening to my phone. I'm like 100% focused on what I'm working on. And it's kind of funny in a way because I get done. I've been working for 3 or 4 hours straight. And then I go to check my email and my text, and I've got all these messages, and people are like, well, how come you haven't responded? Well, sorry, I'm not sitting here looking at my phone waiting for your text. So I get to you as fast as I can. But I stay focused on what I'm doing because it's too easy to get sucked in if you let yourself.
Sherry made a comment there. It worked for her.
They got a $130 order from one customer I sent a book to. So yeah, Sherry's using Campaign Mailer now. Sherry's using my system now, our system. So awesome. Good job, Sherry. Okay, next one is multitasking. So multitasking is another thing that we do to trick ourselves into believing that we're being productive. And I'm guilty of this, you guys. My biggest problem is Avon has these webinars, and I'm home, and the webinar is at a certain time, but I have work I need to get done, and I have two monitors, so I'll put the webinar on one while I'm working on the other, and you know what happens? I miss 3/4 of what was on that webinar because your brain just can't do 2 things at once. It's just really counterproductive, right? It's a way of making ourselves feel as though we're getting more done, when we think we're not doing enough, but it isn't working. So like listening to a podcast while writing emails, your brain is literally unable to concentrate on what you want to write and pay full attention to the words in your ears at the same time. So you're just wasting your time convincing yourself that you've spent some time learning or growing your mind when you really haven't. So like I do that, I'm working here and I don't know, scheduling social media or whatever, and I have an Avon webinar. I almost always have to go back and watch the replay because I literally missed most of it, because you just can't focus on both. Right? Now, some tasks lend themselves to these kinds of behaviors. So like cleaning, most of us can clean on autopilot. So you can be cleaning your house and maybe have headphones on and listen to a podcast or training, right? Or if you're doing the treadmill or riding a bicycle or whatever, you know, exercise, you could probably do that. But anything that's attached to work that uses your brain doesn't function that way. Multitasking ends up just wasting more time than you think it's helping you save. So the fix is put all your attention and focus on one task at a time. When you're done, move to the next one. Okay, so next one, checking the news. So, you know, I mean, it seems like something's always happening. Oh my gosh, between the trial that just completed yesterday with the impeachment or the elections. I mean, all the news, we've had so much news going on. I'm thinking it's going to all die down now, but there's always something happening, right? And it's so easy to use the news as an excuse for procrastination. I mean, after all, we want to be in the loop when it comes to politics or sports or local news, right? But the fix is force yourself to stay away from checking news updates. You know, again, just like I said with your phone, you need to not allow yourself to do it. And there are ways, if you want to lock yourself out of doing like certain web pages. So there's an app for Chrome that's called Stay Focused, and it allows you to hide websites while you're working. So like, for instance, you can hide Facebook while you work and tell the app you only want to spend 15 minutes on it. So after 15 minutes, it will block you from being on there anymore if you need something to manage that. So you could say, okay, I'm going to work for 45 minutes straight and then take a break for 10 or 15 minutes and then use that app to only allow yourself to be on there for 10 or 15 minutes, right? And so during your break, you can spend that time doing those time wasters if you like, but keep it to just your break time. And so that way you can still spend 45 solid minutes working and take a break every hour if that's what you want to do, right? Errands and chores. So those are great. I mean, the problem with errands and chores isn't the chores themselves, it's when you do them. So obviously, if you're running errands during rush hour, that's a big time waster because you're stuck in traffic. If you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice. I get it. We all have different schedules, and I used to have a job, and you know, you have to work your job, and after work's the only time you can do some of your errands, right? So I get it. Chores is another. So here's a funny scenario. You might be sitting at your desk working away and you notice that the shelf is dusty. So you do the responsible thing and you start dusting, or you're straightening things up, you know, and you tell yourself, well, I'll have that done in 5 minutes. But you know what happens? Once you get started on it, you keep going and you end up cleaning your whole office. And yeah, your office is clean. That's amazing, but you didn't get anything done in your business. So you still haven't finished what you were working on. So the fix, plan your errands ahead when you know that there'll be less traffic if possible. Try to do your shopping when you know the stores won't be as crowded, you know, if possible. And then for your chores, set aside a couple of days a week when you're going to do all the dusting, cleaning, decluttering, or, you know, maybe you do all your cleaning on Saturday or however you do that, right? That way, even if it catches your attention, even if you notice, oh, wow, my desk is really dusty, then you just push it to the back of your mind and say, I'll clean that when chore day comes. I'll make sure I do my desk, right? So if that's Saturday or whatever day that is, I'll make sure I dust my desk. So that way you're not taking time away from building your business. Okay, watching TV. This is probably really a common one for a lot of people. TV is a great way of relaxing for many of us, and if you're intentional about it, and you know, then you kind of keep track of the time you spend watching TV, then it's totally fine, right? I am not saying that you can't watch TV, because for a lot of us, it's just your wind down time, or it's your relaxing, right? But if you're coming home from work and you're plonking down on the sofa every evening and you're there the whole night, and maybe you fall asleep in front of the TV, or you just find yourself watching TV for the sake of it because you're bored or it's a habit, you're not even really into what's going on, then consider that it might be a waste of time, right? Is there something you could be doing that's more productive? So, you know, I'm not saying, again, relaxing is productive. So I'm not suggesting you shouldn't relax. But if you're like, get home from work and that's what you do is plop on the couch and you don't do another thing the rest of the night, you might want to think about that. You might want to rethink it, because you're not going to build your business that way, right? So, you know, if you're trying to clean the house or do the dishes and you want some background noise, I don't suggest the TV, because, again, you could get sucked into what's happening on the TV, like by a storyline or a commercial or whatever. And so if you're just filling time with the TV, that might be a time to watch videos for training and personal development. That might be a time to go back and watch Avon's webinars that you weren't able to watch when they were live. The trainings and podcasts are great to listen to while you're doing household activities. So if you're looking for background noise, go with the radio or listen to music. Or if you're doing something like ironing or cleaning, or I don't know if anybody irons anymore, but, you know, cleaning or on the treadmill, then you can listen to a podcast or a training, something like that. So, and then on the final note I have is we all get the same amount of time, 86,200, that's wrong.
240.
There's an extra zero in there. 86,240 seconds, 1,440 minutes, 1,440 minutes, or 24 hours in a day. So it's up to you to figure out how you're going to use that time, right? So you don't want to be spending your days doing things that don't add value to your life or anyone else's for that matter. And the good news is you can train yourself to focus more and have fewer distractions. Sometimes it's not what you do, but what you stop doing. So if you stop doing these things that are wasting your time, make a conscious effort to add purpose and value to your life and follow through, you're going to notice that you're going to get more done. Your business is going to be more successful. You might be happier because you're able to spend more time doing the things you want to do or with the people you want to be with, right? And you might find that you have some more time. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, that was great.
Okay, so I'm going to go back because I mentioned it in the training, but we didn't really talk about it. Our system that we use, our simple system. And actually, if you go to the search bar here and you type in automate, that will pull it up. And so there's like how to manage your Avon customers and your automated systems over time. This one is a post about after you automated your business, how do you manage it? Because you can't keep adding people to your mailing list. It's going to get really expensive. And if they don't ever order, you're just spending money, right? So this is about how you manage it. So how do you decide when to take them off your mailing list and move them to your text list or stuff like that, how to manage that. This is a text drip training for your new Avon representatives. The only people this really applies to is leadership reps who want to have training for their new reps. How automated systems can create happy Avon customers. This is the one you want. Automate your follow-ups to give yourself more time to build your business. So this is the one you want. I have a whole training here. We did a Facebook Live on it. And bottom line is, you know, when Richard and I first started, we were both working. I was working 60 to 70 hours a week. I literally was on the road 3 hours a day, an hour and a half in the morning, an hour and a half at night to get to work and back. I lived in Ventura, California. I worked in Santa Barbara, if anybody knows the area. And I didn't have time to build my business. And so what we did was we worked that. Instead, we used to teach the power of 3, talking to 3 people a day. We worked power of 300 on Sunday afternoon. We got permission to get in front of a Kmart, and we set up a table in Ventura in front of that Kmart. We did that for years, actually. And every Sunday afternoon, we would sit there. We promised Kmart we wouldn't sell anything, but we had drawing slips that we had people fill out. We gave out brochures. We asked them if they'd be interested in selling Avon, or if they'd like a brochure, if they'd like to be on our mailing list, you know. And we got our customers. And so, and then Richard had, I think his days off were like Wednesday and
Sundays, yeah.
And so on Wednesdays, Richard would be driving all over town delivering these brochures. And it got to be, you know, we kept reaching these points where we couldn't grow anymore because we just didn't have any more hours in the day to grow, to spend time to grow. And he was wasting his whole day. And I don't mean wasting as in it's not a good idea to get brochures to people, but it was like it didn't allow him to do anything else.
Yeah.
So then we looked into bulk mail, and we started bulk mailing. And it's funny because back then we didn't have Facebook. We didn't have social media. Avon had a bulletin board. I don't know if any of you remember those those of you that are old like me, they had like AOL, had chat rooms. It was kind of like that. It was like a bulletin board that Avon had. And I had a lot of Avon friends in there. And they said, oh, no, don't mail them. Don't mail them. You're making a big mistake. But we didn't have time to do anything else. So we started mailing them, and our customers loved it because they got a brochure. Every campaign they knew it was coming, right? And then the same thing with the follow-up calls. I didn't have time to make those follow-up calls, and I knew how critical they were, but you know, people don't want me calling them at 11 o'clock at night. And so I got a system. It was a different system than the one we're using now, where I pre-recorded a message. Back then, nobody had cell phones. It was all phones. It was 20 years ago. And I pre-recorded a message, and it went out to my customers. Again, the reps were like, you are crazy. You're going to destroy your business. And I'm like, but I have no other way to do this. I didn't know what else to do. So I was very careful about making sure that my phone calls weren't salesy, because they were pre-recorded. You know what happens when you get a pre-recorded? You hang up on it right away, right? You're like, oh, damn telephone solicitor. Click, right? But with me, it was, hi, this is Lynn, your Avon lady. Just a quick reminder, my order's going in. And my customers, they learned they knew it was me. And a lot of them would tell me, I don't even listen to your message. I just go, oh, it's Lynn. And I hang up and I call you back with my order, you know, and they loved it for a lot of reasons, I think, because number one, they didn't have to talk to me unless they wanted to place an order. So it wasn't like I was being pushy or anything. And I think that's the big part of what they liked about it. And it wasn't a telephone solicitor, because I was somebody who already had a relationship with them. They were getting brochures from me. You know, they started expecting those phone calls after a while. So fast forward to today. Today we do things a little different, but we still follow this system. Oh, one more thing. Back then we were selling $6,000 a campaign. We were selling over $100,000 a year. We had built up to that by doing all of these things we teach you, like going door to door and doing all these things. And we built it up to that $6,000. My message back then, my order was due on Monday. Yeah. Well, I mean, it like had to be mailed in by Monday. I got an extra day to do it online. But so I did my phone reminders on Friday morning. And on Friday morning, when I did the phone reminders, I might have had $200 or $300 in orders. And I would send out that message, and by Monday, I would have $6,000 in orders, or 5,000 or 6,000. That's how important those messages are. That's how critical they are. Now, obviously, if you don't have that many customers, you're not going to get that kind of orders. But you can build that up over time. It will build up, right? Yeah.
A funny story is we actually started doing it on Saturday mornings to get the order in before, so we could order by Monday. And what was happening is we kind of figured out that all the kids are home and the husbands are home, and they were answering the phone, and they never get the message to the wife, or she would get at the end of the message. And so we figured out that we should do it on Friday. Kids are in school, everybody's at work, and we send it out at 10 o'clock on a Friday morning, and the message would be there, and they would get it. And if they happen to be home, it would usually just be the wife at that time, and she would get the message and give us a call.
Yeah, because even if the kid answered the phone, it's a recorded message. It's already talking.
It's 30 seconds.
Mom! And by the time Mom got to the phone, it was over, right? And so that really made a difference when we changed it to Friday. Sandy says, love the tables. I'm bringing that to my town. So excited. Oh, awesome. Sandy, I'd love to talk to you about that if you need help with it. But anyway, so nowadays we use Campaign Mailer. And so if you go to Campaign Mailer, campaign-mailer.com, looks like this. I'm not going to go in because all of my customer list is there. But here's the pricing. And depends on how many you mail. So if you mail one brochure, you literally can mail one brochure. In the bulk mail, they're now offering an immediate mailing of a brochure, which is more expensive because that's first class mail. But if in the bulk mail, one brochure is $1.74. That includes the price of the brochure. Now, if you buy brochures in bulk from Avon, the best price you can get is 33 cents. So that's already 33 cents of that $1.74. So that's a pretty good deal, right? I mean, you're getting that for postage. What is that? $1.40 or something?
Yeah, around $1.40.
I'm up here more in the 200 plus. I'm paying $1.24 each, but it's totally, I mean, it's totally reasonable. And you can write all this off as as expense, right?
And if you take a brochure to the post office and try to mail it, it'll cost you at least $2.25 to $3.
Yeah.
So it's almost double.
Yeah, just to put it in an envelope yourself and mail it. I know that there is a book rate, but technically the post office doesn't allow Avon brochures to go as the book rate. The book rate.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they wouldn't know what was in there, but you'd have to lie. So, anyway, and I don't know how much cheaper that is. But so I use Campaign Mailer. I use Dial My Calls now for my customers who I don't have cell phones for. So my little old ladies that I just have their home phone number, I use Dial My Calls, and it's a pre-recorded message. It's right here. I keep it under 30 seconds. It says, "Hi, this is Lynn, your Avon lady. Just a friendly reminder that my Avon order is going in on Wednesday. If you've already placed an order, thank you very much. If there's anything you'd like me to order for you, please let me know by Tuesday evening. If you don't need anything now, no problem. Have a great week." And my phone number, and then I say, "If you'd rather not receive these messages, please let me know. Thanks for your support. Have a great day." So that's what I do in my messages. It's pre-recorded in my Dial My Calls account. I don't have to record it every campaign. It's already there because I don't put dates in it. And I just schedule it. Boom, to those. I think I have 20 customers, 19 or 20 customers. For texting, I use Project Broadcast. And it's just, this is Lynn with Avon. Quick reminder, my order goes in on Wednesday. If I can order anything for you, please let me know by tomorrow. Have a great day. I usually include an image of the brochure, or I have one that's got Lucille Ball, and it's her on the phone that says, "Hi, Ethel, my order's going in." And, you can find cute little images online. And so anyway, that's all I do. And so all of that is automated. It's automated in the sense that on Friday, I go in and I click, I update my text to put the right campaign number in, and then I schedule it to go out for Monday morning. I schedule my voice shots to go out, and I schedule a post to go out on Sunday on Facebook that says, "My order's switching out," right? Another thing I use Campaign Mailer for my people that get the digital brochure, I send them 2 texts every campaign, because if they're getting a digital brochure and they're in the grocery store, at the doctor's office, or they're with their kids or whatever, when the first text comes through, they go, "Oh yeah, it's the Avon brochure." They don't have time to look at it. And then by the time they get back to their phone, they've got 20 more texts, and mine gets lost. So I send one at the beginning of the campaign. "Hey, welcome to campaign 6. This is our new campaign. You can see the brochure here." And then I send one like the Friday before the campaign ends, and I go, "Just a reminder, campaign 6 or campaign 5 is ending on Monday. Monday's the last day the online brochure is online. It's a day earlier than you as a rep are able to order." So my Avon brochure ends on Monday, so if there's anything you want, be sure to place an order before Monday. On Tuesday, it'll be on campaign 6, right? So that's how I do that. That's everything is in here, how I use this system. Automate your follow-ups to give yourself more time to build your business. So that's what I have. Let me go back to us and move this. Okay, so looks like we got rid of every, we got every comment.
Answered every question.
Sammy says, "Love all of these business building ideas, income producing activities." Yes.
Yes.
Woo-hoo. And Sandy, you guys that don't know her, she's new on my team, but I've worked with her before. She's been on my Avon team before, and I'm so excited to be working with you again. She's kicking her business in high gear and taking names. So woohoo, Sandy, go girl. And Tracy says, "Great review." Thank you, Tracy. And looks like we got everybody else. So I want to thank you guys for being here today. We have these meetings every Sunday. So I hope to see you next Sunday, same time, same place.
And they're here for you to review as well.
Yep, you can watch the replay if you can't be here live. And we try to do something every week that helps you with your business. So go out there, have an amazing week. I'll see you online. I'll see you around. And we'll see you next Sunday for sure.
Go out and finish up the rest of that See's candy you have sitting there from Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So I have to say this before we go. Sandy says, "Oh, and I'm so glad to be with the rock stars." Love you, girl. All right, you guys. Have a great week. Happy rest of your Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.